Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Will Dinwiddie here. Today's word of the day is innovation. Innovation is a new method, idea, or product. So, I've said this a lot, how I've been really innovative. I practiced a lot of innovation when it came to building my gym. I painted the murals on the wall. I'd never done anything like that before, but I found a way to do it. I figured out a way to do it. I built a lot of the stuff in here, the benches. This log right here, check this out. This log right here, this is, there we go. There it is, there's a good picture, or a good angle. I built that out of a piece of telephone pole. My deadlift blocks, check those babies out. Let's get that, there we go. You can kind of see them. I built all those. I built my arm wrestling tables. I built a lot of things from not knowing how to do anything, but just using my wits. I was like, well, I got an iPhone and I can just figure out, get on the Google and say, how do you build a deadlift block, and get the measurements and figure it out. And then there was YouTube videos on it. That's a great thing about the internet is that having an iPhone is so valuable because you have answers at your fingertips. You can build things, you can create things, you can buy things, it's just having an iPhone is if you're a business owner, it could be an ideal tool to allow you to grow your business because it gives you access to the internet, it gives you access to Facebook, to YouTube, to make videos, to download videos, to access Google, to ask questions, to find answers, So I didn't know how to build a log, and I didn't know how to build deadlift blocks, and before I built them, I just got on Google and typed in, how do you build a deadlift block? And then I wanted different sizes, so I got the right sizes. I got the different sizes that there are. And the same thing with the log. I didn't know how to build a log. I just got on the Google and said, how do you build a strongman log? And I got some dimensions, and then I got some measurements and some examples and did it myself. A lot of time people will say that they don't have the resources, or it's like they don't have the money. It doesn't cost much money to go get a keg shell and fill it up with sand. That doesn't cost a lot of money, and there's a piece of equipment right there. My giant tires outside, that doesn't cost a lot of money to go to a junkyard and ask for some old tires. There's ways to get what you want. The wood I got for the deadlift blocks, I traded a client some training sessions for that wood. The wood I built the benches out of, it was from demolition of the old building that used to be inside this warehouse. There was a building that was built inside here, and we demolished it and used some of the wood to build the staircase and to put the wood base around the inside of the gym, so if I hit it with metal, it wouldn't poke a hole in the wall. There's so much that you can do to grow yourself, and you don't need anything but your brain and a willingness to grow. That's the most important thing innovation teaches you, is that it teaches you that it refines in you, and it reminds you of your willingness to grow. If you're willing to grow, you're willing to do it any way possible, any way that you can think of. I told myself I wanted to have a wood log one day. I want to have a Slater log, but until I get a Slater log, I wanted to have something now, and I was like, well, I guess if I could get a piece of telephone pole, I'd be willing to try and make my own, and so that's what I did, So, and I'm going to get, and those things are going to come. The other things that I want will come as time goes on, but what I'm telling you is that if you're on the road to your goal, and you have voices in your head saying you can't do it, or you don't have the resources, you don't have this, and you don't have that, don't listen to that. You do have the resources. Just use the creative side of your brain or the creative side of yourself, and instead of focusing on what you can't do, think about what you can do. What could you do with what you have? Is there any way that somebody that can help you get something that that you need, that they have, or maybe they know somebody? You got to be willing to ask questions. You got to be willing to ask people, for help. Like, I need some wood, or I need I need this, or you know, like for my arm wrestling tables, I had a client do the upholstery on those and make the pin pads and the elbow pads. Everything that I have in this gym has been custom built, has been custom made by somebody that I know. The guy that built my stones is a fellow powerlifter or fellow strongman and a professional powerlifter. He's my powerlifting coach, and he also builds stones, and he's a carpenter, and what do you know? You know, like, the universe will give you what you need if you ask and you let the world know what it is that you're looking for. So part of being innovative is letting people know what it is that you need, what it is that you're trying to do with yourself. So if you're trying to build your life into a certain way, you need to let people know about it. You know, let people know what you're doing, because they can help you. People can help you. There's a lot of people that can help you, and you don't know it yet because you haven't let people know what it is that you're doing, or what you're trying to accomplish, or the goals that you're chasing after, or your dreams. That's part of being innovative too, is expressing the dream, you know, expressing the goal, and letting people know, you know, like, this is what I'm trying to do with myself, this is what I'm trying to do with my life. And a lot of times you'll get help from people that you never would have expected to get help from. When I got that leg press machine over there, that was I had a guy that private messaged me about this leg press machine before he made it public to everybody else, because he wanted to offer it to me first, because he knew that I was into the gym life, you know. And that same guy got me a couple of stones too that he had found in the trash, and so I was just like, sometimes people will throw away good things that don't need to be thrown away. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit, and then they're back to brand new again, you know. So it's like, you know, innovation, it just means getting the job done no matter what it takes, figuring out a way to get the job done, and learning how to make it better and better as time goes on, trying to improve it, never being satisfied, always wanting to grow yourself, always wanting to expand yourself. That's what life is all about, is seeing how far you can go, how much can you accomplish, how good can you get at being you, you know. That's what life is about, and that requires innovation, because you're going to have to keep being creative, and you're going to have to create new methods. You're going to have to let your ideas grow, and that could grow into many things. You could end up building products and things like that. You know, writing a book, that's a product. Building equipment, that could be considered products, you know, like even if it's just your equipment, you know, you could do it again, you know, you could replicate it, you know. So anyway, the word of the day was innovation. Make sure that you're practicing innovation. Make sure that you're continuing to learn from other people. That's being innovative. Don't just listen to me. Listen to some other motivational speakers or some other people that are out there doing things with themselves. So anyway, as always, don't be average, be epic, baby.